I thought it would be super fun to reach back into the past, back to 2011 and subsequent years, and share some of my old blog posts with you, which were actually the launching pad to this podcast. They're all posted in a section called Thoughts by Me on my website. I'll put a link in the description. And there's actually some fun recipes on there that I had completely forgotten about that I will be revisiting. And there's some interesting challenges, like life challenges that I challenged myself to that I blogged about. Kind of fun. So let's take a blast to the past. Thoughts from a hike through creation from February 28th, 2014. God has been a busy guy this year, just in my life alone. I'm so glad he's personal. It took me many years to truly understand that. I get it now, or at least in all of the last year's trials, things are finally really starting to sink in. God is love. How mind-boggling and freeing it is to completely know that. As an adolescent, I frequently begged God to show me unconditional love, trying to replace the perceived lack of love for my dad in my eyes. Dad played favorites with us kids, 4 of us, and I had made it my life's mission to finally be good enough for him. Yet again, perception. For years, I obsessively searched to find true love here on earth by sleeping with men who showed me attention. I had no intention of ever getting married or having children. First off, I didn't want to be responsible for messing someone up. I didn't believe I could be a good mother. As for a love relationship, I never wanted to commit to someone for fear of being let down. Before hubby, my longest relationship lasted less than 6 months. I left before they left. There's that dark perception thing again. My entire life, Dad had made it clear that men didn't want to be with fat women. I allowed myself to get into a love-hate relationship with food. I developed eating disorders and battled with the very substance I needed for nourishment. I yo-yoed up and down the scale from 130 pounds to 298 pounds. That was after pregnancy. I was always having to replace my wardrobe, sometimes replacing nearly new items. 3 years ago, I joined my friends in a challenge. It's called the Daniel Fast. I have lots of posts written about it on this subject. It's taken out of the book of Daniel. This experience was life-changing. It taught me a new respect for my temple. My views on my body have drastically changed from childhood. I know that it's not about what man's eyes see. It's about keeping my body in proper function so I can accomplish everything God needs me to do. Since August of 2012, I've been cigarette-free from a 25-ish year addiction. I still use the e-cigarette, but I have 2 more steps to get off the nicotine completely. I was completely done with cigarettes, and then my dad died, and I leaned on the e-cigarette. I've been really watching what I put into my body as far as preservatives and dealing with food intolerance problems I've had. I've done a lot of research on what is needed for my body. We all have the same basic stuff that goes on with our bodies, but each one of us is also an individual, and we have to learn how our bodies work. Last year, after my dad died, I had an uncontrollable urge to walk. It's very therapeutic, actually. Well, when Kiddo and I went to New Mexico, I kept myself busy in other ways. Hubby suggested that we start walking together while I'm here with him in North Carolina. I was ecstatic. Walking a lot was never his favorite thing to do, so I just did that kind of stuff by myself. We've been hiking the William B. Umstead National Park. It is beautiful. The frogs and birds sing to you the whole time you walk. There are streams to cross and lakes to sit by. I can't wait to see it in the spring, all green and fresh. I'm so glad that God is changing my perspective about a lot of things. I've always been fascinated with creation. I'm so thankful for the time I get to spend with God and hubby. This is where the healing begins. Thank you so much for being here today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right there for me. And click the bell if you want notifications. And hit that like button too. And I will see you next time. Maranatha.
And now that he's washed me clean, I wanna follow where he leads. We were made to love, we were made to give. The reason why we're here, the reason why he gave us life. We were made to show the love of Christ. We know this is why we're here, this is why he gave us life. So let his love shine through in everything we do. It's all for love.